All right. Hello? Oh, all right. Well, I'm good. Uh, Again, thanks for the introduction. I've been here as an attendee for a couple years, so this is my first time actually speaking here, so I really appreciate that. So I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you guys today. So my talk might be a tad bit short. We sort of are really tackling app intents. So she did a lot of the heavy lifting with going over the technical stuff. So I get to talk about more demos, more applied knowledge to app intents. So I had to cut out a good chunk of my talk, just FYI. So again, I'm Vince Davis. I work at United Airlines. If you flew United or you fly United, the live activities, that was pretty much my doing. A little bit about me. Over the last month or so, I got really heavy into 3D printing. So if anybody is interested in talking about 3D printing, I'm all ears. I got a bamboo lab and I'm all in. So we can talk about that. And again, like I love to travel. So this is just a few places that I've been over the past couple of years. So when I say I like to travel, I really like to travel. So again, the agenda today is like why app intents matter. I'll try not to do too much overlap of what was just discussed. We'll do a demo, which will probably be most of the talk. There'll be a little bit of code walkthrough, some lessons learned, and then we should have plenty enough time for question and answers if there's any. So the demo is going to be right after this, but if anybody wants to see the GitHub or join the test flight, you can do that. The test flight will be pretty much the demo we go through, and the GitHub is just all the code that I'll be talking about today. This will come up again, so you'll have another opportunity to see this. It'll come back, sorry. So again, why do app intents matter? Honestly, it's the future. I really think this is where Apple is going to go. They've pretty much made that loud and clear. I've talked to a couple of internal people with Apple, and everything is just built around app intents. It enhances your engagement with Siri and shortcuts, simplifies automation with users, and just really makes your app just more discoverable. And again, it's just the building block for Apple Intelligence. Oops, I went a little too fast, sorry about that. And again, this is just some other things that just allows you to interact with Siri, more of a hands-off, so you don't have to go on the app as much to do simple tasks. You can make your own custom workflow, which we'll go over a few of those today. Siri will intelligently suggest any app intents that you've been using frequently. And again, it's app intents that you build once, they're seamlessly reusable across live activities, widgets, Siri, even the control widget as well. So again, we'll just go into the demo. So again, this is your second time to take that if you didn't get it the first time. So I will get it. Ready? All right, so with that, we'll go into the demo for a little bit. So give me one sec. You don't want to see me? You don't want to see that either. And sorry about that. Let's try one more time. All right, there we go. So pretty much we'll just go into the app. So I made pretty much a demo conference app. So it'll have all the schedules for everybody that's talked at the conference. It has a list of that. It has some favorites that I pinned to the top. It has a list of the speakers. And at the bottom, there's some stuff about live activities and iCloud shortcuts, which we'll get into a little bit later. So pretty much in here, you can go in and you can see more about it. You can favorite it. You can unfavorite. live demos for you. Sorry about that. Ooh. So you can go in here, you can see this, you can start live activities if you want. And with this, so everything, all the buttons in here are based off of app intents. So I can go through and cycle through all the speakers that are here without even having to go back into the app. If I wanted to favorite somebody, I could tap on the star and that'd be favorited. If I went back, this would deep link you into there and that you can see in the top right corner that this has been favorited. You can end it if you want. Along with that, there's some other things that I'll show in the talk that if I were to say on here, invoke Siri and say this phrase of favorite this session with SG demo, it would actually go through and favorite this here in line. So it's something that you can do without even have to actually type or tap anything on here. Along with that, you could, these are some other things that you can easily evoke. You could say show your session for the demos. You can go down here and you can also do that for your speakers as well. I won't have much time to talk about, but if anybody's interested in live activities, I can definitely go on to talk to you about that for forever. That's been pretty much my life for the past year. But with this, inside of here, there's also, there's a lot of debugging. It's very hard to debug live activities. So with this, I just made a quick little preview so where I can see all the different pieces of live activity, where there's the dynamic island, the minimal, even different watch sizes, so I can easily preview how it's going to look. Granted, you still need to really test on an actual device because the fonts might be slightly bigger, slightly smaller. You might be doing dynamic typing, but it is a quick little way to see if what you're actually doing is going to, how it's going to pretty much look. And along with there's some shortcuts that I've made that also extend the capability. Oh. There's also some shortcuts in here that extend the capability of the app intents that I made. Those are those. So then also in here, I've also made a widget that includes the live activity, the favorite app intent. So you could easily tap on this and it would favorite it. It's going to make a reload to the widgets. Also, I made a few app intents for Control Center. So if I tapped on these, they would start live activities for these particular speakers. So I tap on this one, and a live activity would start for Jeff. Then if I wanted to, I don't want to see Jeff. I want to see what Ryan's doing. So I could tap on that. I could tap on that, and then it would start a live activity for Ryan as well. And these are all based off of just one live activity, or one app intent is doing that for all the different components. Along with that, you can also do more expandability. So if we just go in here and we scroll down to the demo, you can see that these are some of the live activities I made. I have it to where you can open a speaker, you can favorite a session, you can open a session, and with that, like if I were to go to a speaker, it would pop up, and you could pick the speaker that you want to see in the app, tap on it, and it will take you right to that speaker right there. I won't go into too much of the details because most of that was go over by Prius, but again, you get the extensibility of how this could be. Along with that, you can really extend it out quite a bit. So I made 4 different ones, so we'll just go through these and see what they're each doing. So on top of that, building it, you have this one where for my app, I needed to get all of the speakers' images and download it, versus clicking on each one. I just made a app intent that will get all the speakers. It will loop through every speaker. It will download the image. It will save that image to the notepad, and then it will send me a notification. I'm sorry, save it to my photos and then send a notification once it's done. So we'll run that right now. And then sometimes you have to ask, it has to ask for permission. So let's let it do that. Allow again. And it's done. So it went through and it pretty much downloaded everybody's photo. And it saved it to my photos. So something like that would have took me maybe 5 or 10 minutes to do that, going to each one, clicking it, downloading it, saving it over, where this was you were able to do in a matter of less than a minute. So that's one way you can do it. Another one is if you want to get every single speaker and then get their talk information and then also download that to a Notes app. So with this one, it's pretty much the same thing. You're getting all the sessions, you're looping through, you're giving a speaker title, you're combining that into one big text, and you're going to send it to the Notes app. So we'll run that. And that was done. It was pretty quick for that to do. So that's that one. There's another one that I'll have to show in actual video. I don't know how it's going to work. I've already had a couple of crashes, so I don't want to crash again. But essentially this one is a caveat, because this one will only work in app. But this is sort of giving you a preview of what Apple Intelligence can be. So what this one is going to do is if you're on the details section of the speakers, and of the session, and you invoke this and you just say, send session message, it will go through, look for the current session, and it will invoke asking if you want to send out a message to somebody. I'll show a video of that. I don't want to invoke this one, so we'll skip that one for now. But this one I do want to show, and this is how you can actually extend this off to other apps as well. So this one is going to do pretty much what the other two do. Nope, not that one. This one. Pretty much going to do what the other ones do, but this one is we're going to ask ChatGPT what it thinks, who has the best talk. So I'm not trying to hurt any feelings, so any speakers, please don't get offended by what's going to happen right now. So essentially it's going to go through, get the speaker, the title, the description of everybody that talked here. It's going to combine it all. I have made a prompt for it that is just saying, here it is, and I just wanted to do less than five sentences. When I just let ChatGPT go out, it makes a novel of like why this person is. So I had to be very specific with my prompt. And then the last thing is it's going to ask ChatGPT everything. So we'll run that, and whoever is the best speaker, it's because ChatGPT said so. So here we go. Oh, that's sad. Bum, bum, bum. Let me see. Wait, give me one sec. Let me see if I have to do anything with ChatGPT first. I think it's because I haven't put it on. So let me sign in real quick. I'm using a demo phone. I didn't want to use my personal phone, so that's a little bit off now. So give me one. Let me disconnect. Sorry.
What's your password?
Well. All right, there we go. All right, let's try that. Okay. All right, let's give that one more try. So it's running. Oh, I really wanted that one to work. I did it before. Huh? I did. It said. No, you asked me if I did. No, I didn't. I did not. Oh, it actually came up as Monica. So they say Monica had the best one. So if anybody downloads the app, make sure you have ChatGPT on, download it, run it, and then hopefully it should come up with the same thing. If you're running, I'm doing 4.0. So try that, run it. But I ran it 5 different times, and Monica came back every single time by ChatGPT. So. Just FYI. All right. So we'll go back to here. So I'll go a little bit as far as into touch on a little bit of the things that Priya did not talk about, and that's app dependency. This is how some of the navigation sort of works, as far as how you can sort of extend and share some of your app code with app intents. So one of the caveat is for your app groups, you need to make sure that both are enabled on both your main and your widget app. And then inside, this is for Swift UI, so it might be slightly different for UIKit, but in your init on your app, you just need to create your object, pass it to the app dependency, and then inside of your app intent, you need to use the dependency up here, and just you can reference it. So in this app state, I am storing navigation and also current session. So in this right here, you're seeing, oh, it's really blurry. This is actually inside of the detail session, so I'm asking it to favorite this particular session. What it's doing is it's pulling in the current session, then it's doing an app intent to toggle it on, and then you can see that it's favoriting and unfavorited it up there. So this can be done all through app intents. This one takes a little bit of work. This is what we really envision Apple Intelligence be, just being able to say something and do it versus having to figure it out. So it would be really great if you just had a whole bunch of app intents and then you just let the users run wild with it. But this is just one thing here. This is another one. This is one that I didn't want to run live, but this one is where it's getting the current session, and then it is asking it who you want to send it to. I'm sending it to myself, and it's creating the message, and then it's going to send it out. So all of that was done without me having to do anything. I just had to make the one app intent, create the building blocks inside of shortcuts, and I was able to sort of have a little pre-Apple Intelligence before Apple Intelligence is really available. It might look better on one of the other screens, but essentially I'm in Christian's session detail, and I'm just asking it send a message about his session to somebody, and I'm just sending it to myself. And with live activities, again, with one app intent, you can use that across the whole spectrum. You can use that to start a live activity from Control Center. You can start that via Siri. So there's so many different ways you can do it. Again, most of this code's been going over by Priya, so I don't have to go too much into what it's doing, but you sort of get the gist. The only one thing that you have to do for live activities is just make sure that your app intent adheres to the live activity intent protocol. And again, with reusability. So this is a app intent for toggling session favorites. This app intent can be used, you make it once and you can use it on, the top one is for your widgets, this one is for the dynamic island for your live activities, and then also, which I haven't seen much of, you can also have live activities on your watch. So this one app intent works on all of these right here. And again, with deep linking. So this is where the app dependency manager comes in, to where I was able to do this. Normally, you would have to do universal links. That requires you to set up a website, host the files that you need to do that. But this is just a way that you could possibly do it without having to have universal links set up. And then Priya already talked about app entities, but then this is just giving you more of pretty much the building block of how you can really expose things outside of your app towards to other parts of the system and to other apps as well. So this is just the entity for the session. You can see on this one right here, these are all the options that you have for the session that are the properties over here. And then it's very hard to see, but then when you're searching inside of shortcuts, these are just pulling in from the very bottom, the display representation for the image, their speaker name, which is hard to see up here, and then for your the session title. And then these are the cases I just went over. I actually I did video just in case they fail, but this last one should say Monica. Well, fingers crossed. So I'll let this last one run because this is the one I tried to run, but it didn't work. Do. So right now it's going through, it's doing the text. I think it's about to ask ChatGPT in a second. It's taking its time, and it did come back with Monica. Sorry, let me go back. Right here, I'll pause it real quick. But this is the response that came back from ChatGPT. It can't read it, so I'll read it for you. The most intriguing topic for me is don't just port your iOS apps to Vision OS, developed with a purpose by Monica. The focus of rethinking app design for a revolutionary platform like Vision Pro, coupled with the unique application of sign language recognition, highlights an innovative and purposeful approach to development. The combination of machine learning, Vision Pro API, and tackling accessibility challenges makes it standout session with both technical in depth and social impact. It promises valuable insight for creating meaningful platform experiences. So that's just a code walkthrough. So with lessons learned, you really should just start small. Start small, scale up. I would love to see when I go into shortcuts, apps just have a plethora of ways that I can interact with their app. Again, it just makes you more accessible. Also, really leverage the Shortcuts app. It might work well in your app, but you need to make sure that it works in the Shortcuts app because that's how everybody else will view it. So don't just test out your app, you have to test to make sure that it works in the Shortcut app as well. Also, you really have to test your Siri phrases. Just make sure that there's no overlap to anything that the system might be saying or requesting because the system's always gonna win. So if it's a default phrase, Apple's gonna win over every time. So always test your phrases and just really focus on privacy. When you start using app intents, you're really exposing a lot of the app to outside. So just make sure that whatever you're exposing is very purposeful and is, it's private and very secure. And with that, I am done. I just really thank you for being here. Thank you for listening.